Hello, and welcome to our journey through one of nature's most terrifying and awe-inspiring phenomena. Throughout human history, tornadoes have carved paths of destruction across landscapes, leaving communities forever changed in their wake. These powerful vortexes of swirling wind represent the atmosphere at its most volatile, and today we will explore the deadliest tornadoes ever recorded. The story of these catastrophic events offers us not only a glimpse into the raw power of nature, but also into humanity's resilience in the face of overwhelming devastation. When we think of extreme weather events, few inspire the same immediate sense of dread as a tornado. These rapidly rotating columns of air extend from thunderstorm clouds to the ground, bringing with them winds that can exceed 300 miles per hour in the most severe cases. While many tornadoes cause relatively minor damage and few casualties, throughout history, certain tornadoes have achieved a notorious status due to their unprecedented destructive capacity. The deadliest of these storms have claimed hundreds and sometimes thousands of lives in mere minutes, forever altering the landscapes and communities they touched. What makes tornadoes particularly dangerous is their unpredictability and the speed with which they can form and travel. Before modern warning systems, communities often had little to no warning before these massive storms descended upon them. Even today, with our advanced meteorological technology, tornadoes can form quickly and change direction unpredictably, making them one of the most challenging weather phenomena to forecast with precision. This unpredictability has contributed significantly to the death tolls associated with history's deadliest tornadoes, as communities were caught unaware and unprepared for the devastation headed their way. The study of these catastrophic events has proven invaluable to our understanding of severe weather patterns and has directly influenced the development of warning systems that save countless lives today. By examining the conditions that preceded these deadly storms, meteorologists have identified key atmospheric indicators that signal potential tornado formation. This knowledge has transformed our approach to severe weather preparedness, allowing communities in tornado-prone regions to implement safety measures and evacuation protocols that simply didn't exist in earlier times. As we delve deeper into the stories of history's deadliest tornadoes, we'll explore not just the meteorological aspects of these events, but also their profound human impact. We'll examine how these catastrophes have shaped cultural attitudes towards severe weather and influenced architectural and city planning decisions in vulnerable regions. These stories, while sobering, offer important lessons about respect for nature's power and the importance of community resilience in the face of disaster. Through understanding these historic events, we gain perspective on how far we've come in our efforts to protect human life from nature's most violent outbursts. The Tri-State Tornado of March 18, 1925 holds the grim distinction of being the deadliest tornado in United States history. This massive storm cut a path of destruction across Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, leaving unprecedented devastation in its wake. What made this tornado particularly lethal was its remarkable longevity and size. The Tri-State Tornado maintained contact with the ground for an astounding 219 miles and traveled at speeds reaching 70 miles per hour. This relentless pace gave residents precious little time to seek shelter, especially considering the lack of warning systems available in the 1920s. The destruction began in southeastern Missouri when the tornado touched down near Ellington. As it moved northeast, it grew in both size and intensity, eventually reaching a width of approximately 1 mile. The small town of Gorham, Illinois, was among the first to face the tornado's full fury, with nearly 80% of the town completely destroyed. But the tornado's most devastating impact occurred when it struck the mining city of Murfreesboro, Illinois. Here, the death toll reached 234, making it the highest tornado-related death count for any single city in United States history. Schools collapsed, homes were swept away, and entire neighborhoods vanished in minutes, leaving behind only debris and heartbreak. The tornado continued its northeastern path, maintaining its incredible strength and size as it crossed into Indiana. Throughout its 3-hour rampage, it claimed 695 lives and injured more than 2,000 people. The economic impact was equally staggering, with damage estimates exceeding $16.5 million, equivalent to approximately $1.7 billion in today's currency. Entire communities were effectively wiped off the map, requiring massive reconstruction efforts. The timing of the disaster, coming just a few years after World War I had ended, placed additional strain on already limited resources available for rebuilding efforts in these predominantly rural and industrial areas. What makes the tri-state tornado particularly significant from a meteorological perspective was its unusual characteristics. Unlike most tornadoes that visibly appear as a funnel cloud, many witnesses reported that this tornado appeared more as a massive, rolling cloud of debris. This visual characteristic, combined with its extraordinary speed, meant that many victims never saw the tornado approaching until it was too late. Additionally, the tornado occurred relatively early in the spring season, when many residents weren't expecting severe weather, further contributing to the high casualty rate. The tri-state tornado forever changed how Americans understood and prepared for tornado threats. In the aftermath, communities began developing early warning systems and disaster response protocols. Weather forecasting became a priority for the government, leading to increased funding for meteorological research. The legacy of this catastrophic event continues to influence modern tornado preparedness, demonstrating how even the darkest chapters in weather history can ultimately contribute to saving lives in the future. The lessons learned from the tri-state tornado have been invaluable in developing the sophisticated warning systems and building codes that protect vulnerable communities today. While the United States is often associated with tornado activity, due to its infamous Tornado Alley, some of history's deadliest tornadoes have occurred elsewhere, particularly in densely populated regions of South Asia. The most catastrophic of these was the Daulatpur Saturia tornado that struck Bangladesh on April 26, 1989. This single tornado claimed approximately 1,300 lives, making it the deadliest tornado in recorded world history. The devastation was magnified by Bangladesh's high population density and predominantly vulnerable housing structures, which offered little protection against the tornado's extreme winds. This catastrophic event began in the late afternoon when a massive supercell thunderstorm developed over Bangladesh's Dhaka region. The tornado that formed touched down near the town of Daulatpur and traveled eastward, eventually striking Saturia. With an estimated width of approximately 1 mile, this massive tornado completely leveled everything in its path. Entire villages disappeared, leaving behind only foundations where homes once stood. The tornado's timing coincided with the evening hours when many residents were at home, contributing to the high fatality rate. Approximately 12,000 people were injured, and more than 80,000 were left homeless in the storm's aftermath. What made This tornado, particularly devastating, was the region's lack of warning systems and disaster preparedness infrastructure. Unlike the United States, which had developed sophisticated tornado detection capabilities by the 1980s, Bangladesh had minimal early warning capacity. Additionally, communication networks were limited, meaning that even if meteorologists had detected the developing supercell, disseminating warnings to rural communities would have been nearly impossible. The tornado struck with such suddenness and ferocity that most victims had no opportunity to seek adequate shelter, and many were caught completely unaware as they conducted their evening activities. The socio-economic factors present in Bangladesh contributed significantly to the tornado's deadly impact. The region affected consisted primarily of rural communities with homes constructed of bamboo, mud, and corrugated metal. Materials that offer virtually no protection against tornado force winds. Additionally, the lack of sturdy public buildings that could serve as shelters left residents with few options when the storm struck. The extreme poverty in many of these communities also hampered recovery efforts, as families lacked the resources to rebuild or relocate after losing everything to the tornado. In the aftermath of this disaster, international aid poured into Bangladesh, helping to fund reconstruction efforts and develop better disaster response capabilities. The catastrophe highlighted the need for enhanced weather monitoring systems in vulnerable regions and sparked renewed interest in developing affordable, tornado-resistant housing options for rural communities. While improvements have been made in the decades since this devastating event, Bangladesh and other densely populated regions in tornado-prone areas continue to face significant challenges in protecting their citizens from these unpredictable and violent storms. The 1989 tragedy stands as a somber reminder of how socioeconomic factors can dramatically amplify the impact of natural disasters. Beyond the devastating human toll, tornadoes have left us with fascinating scientific puzzles and remarkable phenomena that continue to intrigue meteorologists and weather enthusiasts alike. Among the most peculiar tornado-related curiosities are the strange objects that have been found miles from their origin points after being carried by tornadic winds. In one documented case, following the 1931 tornado in Minnesota, a canceled check was discovered nearly 85 miles from where it had been stored. Even more incredibly, after a 1955 tornado in Wisconsin, a frozen chicken was found completely intact, having been lifted from a freezer and deposited without thawing, despite traveling through violent winds. Tornado formation itself remains one of the most complex processes in meteorology. While we understand that tornadoes typically form from supercell thunderstorms, the exact conditions that determine whether a particular storm will produce a tornado are still not fully understood. This unpredictability is part of what makes tornadoes so dangerous and challenging to forecast with precision. Scientists have identified certain atmospheric signatures that often precede tornado formation, such as a rotating updraft known as a mesocyclone, and specific patterns of wind, shear. But the precise trigger mechanism that transforms a regular thunderstorm into a tornado-producing supercell continues to be an active area of research. Color variations in tornadoes can reveal important information about their composition and the environments they're passing through. While many people imagine tornadoes as dark, menacing funnels, they can actually appear in various colors depending on lighting conditions and debris content. Tornadoes passing over dry, dusty terrain often appear brown or red, while those in humid environments may appear nearly transparent until they begin collecting debris. Some tornadoes have even been reported with unusual colorations, like blue or green, typically when illuminated by specific lighting conditions during sunset or when viewed through certain atmospheric conditions. These visual characteristics can sometimes provide clues about a tornado's intensity and the type of damage it may be causing. Perhaps one of the most counterintuitive aspects of tornadoes is the relatively calm conditions that can exist at their center. Similar to the eye of a hurricane, the central vortex of some powerful tornadoes contains an area of relatively low wind speed. There have been rare accounts of people being drawn up into a tornado's funnel and subsequently deposited, sometimes miles away, with only minor injuries. In 1928, Will Keller, a Kansas farmer, reported looking up from his storm cellar directly into the center of a tornado passing overhead. He described seeing a calm, bright area surrounded by rotating clouds, an observation that has helped scientists better understand tornado structure. Modern tornado research has benefited tremendously from technological advances that allow for close observation of these dangerous storms. The vortex, verification of the origins of rotation in tornadoes experiment, projects have deployed sophisticated radar systems, weather balloons, and specially designed vehicles to gather data from active tornadoes. These research initiatives have significantly improved our understanding of tornado dynamics and contributed to more accurate prediction models. Despite these advances, tornadoes maintain an element of mystery that continues to challenge meteorologists and fascinate weather enthusiasts around the world. Each new tornado provides valuable data that helps refine our understanding of these complex atmospheric phenomena. The legacy of history's deadliest tornadoes extends far beyond the immediate devastation they caused, influencing everything from architectural practices to emergency management protocols. In regions frequently affected by tornadoes, building codes have evolved significantly to incorporate tornado-resistant design elements. Modern structures in tornado-prone areas often feature reinforced safe rooms, improved roof-to-wall connections, and impact-resistant windows. These architectural adaptations directly address the weaknesses that led to catastrophic structural failures during historic tornado events, potentially saving countless lives during future storms. Perhaps the most significant advancement stemming from these historic disasters has been the development of sophisticated early warning systems. The weather radio system implemented by the National Weather Service provides continuous broadcasts of weather information and can automatically activate during severe weather events. Additionally, outdoor warning sirens have become standard fixtures in communities across Tornado Alley. Modern Doppler radar systems can detect rotation within storms long before a tornado touches down, providing precious minutes of advance warning that simply didn't exist during earlier catastrophic events like the tri-state tornado. Education and public awareness campaigns have dramatically improved community preparedness for tornado threats. Schools and businesses in vulnerable regions regularly conduct tornado drills, ensuring that everyone knows exactly where to seek shelter when warnings are issued. Public education efforts have focused on dispelling dangerous myths about tornado safety, such as the misconception that highway overpasses provide adequate shelter during a tornado. These educational initiatives have equipped modern communities with knowledge that could have saved many lives during history's deadliest tornado events. Climate change research suggests that tornado patterns may be shifting in concerning ways. While the overall number of tornadoes hasn't necessarily increased, some studies indicate that tornadoes are becoming more clustered, with more tornadoes occurring in outbreak events rather than as isolated incidents. Additionally, there's evidence that the geographic distribution of tornadoes may be expanding eastward from the traditional tornado alley. These changing patterns present new challenges for communities that historically haven't needed to prepare for significant tornado threats, highlighting the ongoing importance of tornado research and preparedness efforts across broader geographic regions. As we reflect on the deadliest tornadoes in history, we're reminded of both nature's awesome power and humanity's remarkable resilience. Communities devastated by these historic storms have rebuilt, often stronger than before, implementing lessons learned from their tragic experiences. The scientific understanding gained from studying these catastrophic events continues to save lives by improving forecast accuracy and warning systems. While we cannot prevent tornadoes from forming, the legacy of history's deadliest tornadoes has equipped us with the knowledge, technology, and community preparedness strategies to significantly reduce their deadly impact in the future. The respect and caution these historic events have instilled in us may be their most important legacy, ensuring that we never underestimate the potential fury of these remarkable atmospheric phenomena.